Hi, hello. My name is Jason Dill, and we're here with Mark Gonzales. Thank you for coming on here, Mark, and it's nice to see you. You and I have known each other, man, a long, long time, but we have never talked on a computer. We couldn't sleep last night. No, that's not our style.
Most things become relative to likes and dislikes. I mean, it's an individual thing. Some people like it, some people don't.
So I'm currently living in Eagle Rock, California, and for
Nice.
those who don't know, it's just a little bit north of Los Angeles. Like I guess Eagle Rock and Pasadena area, that'd be considered like diet LA. It's not like LA. It's not like the real deal. And briefly, so there, so I'm doing my day, I'm painting, whatever, and then I'm gonna make something to eat. And I hear helicopters and I hear sirens, but like a lot, and then more and more, and then a lot of helicopters, and then more sirens. It's going on for a while. And then so much so that I'm hearing it really like close outside the house. So I Google. It's so funny to say this in modern day. I Google. So I Google police helicopters Eagle Rock. So a car accident happened on the 134 freeway, and there's a little bridge over. This is a small street I live on, and over that street, that street goes under the 134. There was a car accident. 3 dudes fled down the embankment of the little bridge, not even an off ramp. They got in the accident, came down, and one dude went in the backyard, got in his underwear, and pretended to be like, not pretended, but he was swimming and watering the plants, like, oh, I live here.
Uh-huh.
Again, there was a car accident. 3 dudes left the scene, fled, jumped over off down the embankment and into the neighborhood, or in this backyard. So next door, the bassist of Weezer owns a house next door to where this dude fled into the backyard. So the guy from Weezer, the bassist of Weezer's wife, came out with a gun and started shooting into the backyard. Cops told her over loudspeakers, like, hey, put down your gun. Shot her in the shoulder.
Wow.
And then arrested her.
Wow.
And then they found the guy and then rounded up the people. And they were there all into the night. And it was just right down the street. It was the strangest thing. It was the strangest thing in the world to happen. Not in the world, but like,
yeah.
What a funny. This is 48 hours ago. But
When she came out with her gun though, was she fearful of an intruder?
I suppose so. And she was shooting, I think, into the neighbor's next backyard. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Crazy
That's
shit.
crazy, yeah.
What a crazy world.
So the guys that had the accident and fled on foot, were they being pursued by the police?
Yeah, but the one dude, like I said, he got down in his underwear and started swimming in the pool next door to act like, oh, I live here, and he's watering the plants and shit.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Pretty smart.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think Mark will do it. Yeah! Baby check, baby 4, baby 5, baby 6, baby check.
I've never been much of a bike person, and you most certainly have. And I've been with you in the past plenty of times. Most of our running around New York would be me on a skateboard and you on a bike. And
Yeah.
I was never so much into bikes, but I am now, and I'm still pretty new to it. I have an electric bike, but as I'm getting older, I have these thoughts of living in Europe and riding bikes all around, like riding a bike from like Paris to Spain and stuff, that France to Spain, or just riding around Europe and riding around places. I really want to do it, and I think I think I want to, that's, I think that I want that to be my future. I really want to do that. But I don't want to be doing it on an electric bike. I need to do it on like something cool, like a fixed gear, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but an electric bike is still doing it. I mean,
Totally. And I might be singing a different tune once I hit Luzon, Switzerland and be like, man, I need to, I need to get an
great.
electric bike for this. But um when both of us were much younger, you gave me, I was living on Prince Street in New York City, and um, you gave me, I don't remember the make of the bike, but you gave me an orange BMX bike.
Yeah, it was a General Lee.
General Lee, that's it. And
Yeah.
gave me the bike. And I remember being a little reluctant about it, like, oh, Mark, you don't, and you're like, no, we'll ride around and shit. It's totally cool. And we did. Um, and New York, this is over 20 years ago. A little
Well,
bit.
time flies.
I know, but think about how different it was. Like, it was still the time where, remember there was big gaps between buildings with like a feet, like there'd be like gaps, like where the Whole Foods is on Houston. Remember, it was just a big empty lot for a long time,
Yeah.
and we were doing the bike jumps over by
That was Canal and Sixth Avenue.
yeah. Remember, it was just a big open
Yeah, that
area.
was fun.
Man, that shit, that time period was so cool. Doing that, and like, obviously, like, oh wow, so cool back then, but it really was. But
Every time is cool.
exactly, right? Ever changing, everything's cool. But man, we were really lucky. Like, we were lucky about a bunch of things. I think we were lucky about the time we grew up skateboarding, which I'll come back to in a bit if I do. And we were lucky to have that that time period in New York, where shit was still like the way it was.
Undeveloped.
Gaps in buildings and shit, and the lots you could ride bikes in and shit. It-
Undeveloped area. It seems
right.
like everything is developed now. There's no,
Every square inch, yeah, every square inch. But I remember you and I riding to the Guggenheim, and it was hard to keep up with you. I'm sure it's
still
still.
on a skateboard or both on bikes.
We were both on bikes, and
Oh.
I was on the General Lee that you gave me, and we were riding to the Guggenheim in the afternoon, and uptown, and you were fucking all over the place. You were going up curbs and off curbs, and you were going next to taxis, talking to them, and you were really hard to keep up with. And so I got up ahead of you, and I started doing the same thing, going in and out of traffic and doing all this stuff and going up curbs and off curbs. And you caught up with me, and you go, hey, take it easy. You don't act so crazy. And I was like, dude, I've just spent the last like 30 blocks trying to keep up with you. I'm just doing what you were doing. It was so funny. But anywho, that bike. So
Are you gonna tell the story where it was locked up in front and the lady got all upset about it?
yeah, we had locked it to on Prince and McDougal. We had locked both our bikes up on the metal rack, well, the metal railing around this tree. And this woman, she might be alive. This woman on the corner of Prince and McDougal, this apartment, ground floor, with all this glass, like huge glass windows, and all these plants, all these plants. It was beautiful. The place was so beautiful. I mean, she might still be there, and she got upset about us locking our bike up, and I don't blame her. Like, um, you know, who are these fuckheads?
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna come to my neighborhood and do as they please. Like, I've been here since the beginning, bitch. You can't tell me. So no, I think she had the authority to tell us to beat it, but I think she was nice about it. But um that bike, the orange bike, I didn't ride bikes much, but after you gave me that bike, I started thinking like, oh, I'll ride it to the bar and I'll drink. And I used to drink a lot back then. I drank in the day and at night, and it was kind of my thing. I drank a whole lot. And I had a good time. But one night I got completely shit faced, and I got on the bike, and I've been drinking during the daytime, kind of going to bars on the bike, and I got so drunk that around 8 p.m. in the summertime, I started to ride home. So I think I'm riding home from like Max Fish or something like that, or maybe even Lit. But I was riding the bike, and I know I was doing like this down the middle of the street on like somewhere off Essex by where I used to live on a little street, and I'm riding and it's dark in the summertime, so it's probably like 10 p.m. But I'm riding, I'm so drunk, and I fucking hit the trunk of a blacked out Nissan Altima, and I flew into the back windshield
Wow.
on the bike.
Did you break the window?
No, but it was parked.
Oh, wow.
And I remember like thinking, why did I? This is so dumb to ride the bike so drunk. So right there, I tried to lock the bike up to a pole right next to where I hit the Altima, and I remember trying to lock the bike up, and I fell down trying to lock the bike up as well.
Oh, you were messed up.
Oh, totally. And so then, so I successfully locked the bike up and walk home, and then the bike got stolen
Wow.
from
Was
right
I
there.
upset?
Huh?
Was I upset?
No, you were super cool about it. And I remember tripping out to tell you like, oh man, like the bike you gave me and like da, 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 but you were super nice about it. Shit,
So what kind of bike do you ride now?
I'm on an electric Trek bike, and it's pretty fancy, and I painted it all black with a crank with two crank mops because I didn't want it to look fancy. Like I
Oh,
wanted it to look like, now it looks like a like it looks like a street warrior bike. It doesn't.
Mad Max?
Yeah, it looks very Mad Max. We were just hanging out, just doing whatever, and kind of like watching people go by. But you would attempt the bike kickflip.
I never made it. I mean, people do them now, but uh, I've never made one. I can't do it. I gave up. I'm not gonna try it again.
But the execution was pretty there. We would be somewhere, and if the curb was small or there was a big crack in the sidewalk, you would use that to bunny hop. This is me telling audience, obviously you know that, but you would bunny hop and throw the bike to flip it like a kick flip and try to catch it and land it. I always thought you were going to make it. And then one time, I believe Jason Goodman, our mutual friend, Jason Goodman, filmed you do this. You thought you could bunny hop on the back of a mailbox and ride over it.
Yeah, well, it snowed. I did it.
You did to it.
No, during the snow, there was like a big blizzard. There was snow everywhere, and the snow embankment went up to the post box, and I rode over it.
What you doing, Mark?
Yo, man, I need a witness over here. I'm trying to pack this shit.
There you go, transition.
There's a wonderful place that you really should see called the land of Pachi Malachi. All boys and girls love this place, yes sirree, called the land of Pachi Malachi. Peppermint candy and ice cream is free in the land of Pachi Malachi. Soda pop fountains are underneath tree in the land of Pachi Malachi.
Just your pride.
Everyone rides on a merry-go-round, all made of sugar and spice. Lollipops grow right up out of the ground. The moon's made of strawberry eyes. If you should run and you trip and you fall in the land of Malachi, the ground's made of rubber, you bounce like a ball in the
You alright, dude? Okay.
I got insurance. I'm okay. Heavy duty police activity.
Oh, you did that, but
Yeah, I pulled it.
that one, but to your credit,
Oh, I see what you're saying. I wanted to do it without the,
off flat ground,
yeah.
you attempted to bunny hop and ride over the top of the mailbox, and Jason has footage of you doing it, and you totally ate shit, but it was incredible. You are miraculous at taking the most fucked up gnarly falls and making it eloquent. Really,
Yeah.
like you like some of your falls have been so incredible over the years. What museum was it that you fell down the stairs while they were open?
Uh,
Was that in
the
New York?
Opera House, the Opera House.
That was incredible. You purposely the opera house is open. This giant set of marble stairs. It's like 30 stairs.
Yeah.
And you're at the top, and people are walking up and walking down, and you fell all the way down the stairs purposefully.
Yeah, that was funny.
It was fucking art. It was so masterfully done.
Yeah.
And people were so tripped out and didn't know what to do. It was, man, it was incredible. It was just so.
I got lucky. I got lucky I didn't get arrested or something. You can't do stuff like that.
But no one could prove that you didn't do it on purpose. But you
Yeah.
did it on purpose because you did it so good.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, the Opera House in Paris. But it was the stairs are rounded.
Yeah.
They're not totally
Right.
square like that, so they're a little bit rounded. So when I was falling down, it was a little bit easier on my body.
Right. No. I could definitely see that, but to your average civilian,
Yeah, it looks crazy.
or to see it in person is so shocking. So
Yeah.
it was so incredible.
My auntie told her I kissed her.
Speaking of, have you been hit by a car?
Yes.
Who's someone that has been hit by a car more than once?
Yes. I got hit. I was on the West Side Highway, or the West Side.
Yeah.
Right by where the World Trade Towers were.
Right.
There's a girl on her phone. She makes a right turn. I'm on my bike and she hits me. And I go down and I tried to get up, but there was these two guys that said, "Don't get up, you're hurt." And I was bleeding and I didn't realize I was cut, or like that I was hurt. And my bike was thrashed, and she was on her cell phone, and she had a guy in the car with her, and she was like super young, and I felt bad because I didn't want to she was on her phone. She wasn't paying attention. She
Right.
turned right into me. But I got 7 stitches. It was crazy.
I think I remember that. I think I do remember that.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was in my leg, and I had to go to the emergency room, and they stitched me up. But it was yeah, I don't know. And then another time, right where the Whole Foods is on Houston and Bowery, I was turning there, and I had the super cool bike. It was like you said, like not Mad Max, but it was gray. It was an all gray bike.
That's not to correct you, but that silver one that looked futuristic.
No, not that one.
Okay.
It was a gray bike, but it was like I don't know, something sport or something. It was all detailed with like white highlights and black and silver. And I liked it. It was like a street bike. And I was turning, same thing, turning, and another car's turning at the same time, and boom, I got hit, went on the hood of the car, and then fell off because the person hit me, and then they stopped, and then I fell off.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "You okay?" I go, "Yeah, I'm okay." He goes, I think he asked me like, if it was his fault, and I go, "I think it's the mutual thing. We were both turning. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't my fault. It kind of happened."
Mm-hmm.
And so he left, and my bike was totally fucked.
Wow. I think I remember that one as well.
Yeah, it was like it was trippy. It's weird to get hit. It's just like you get initial shock, and then afterwards, just like you have to like assess if you're okay. Like the other time, I mean, when I got the stitches in my leg, I tried to get up or I tried to keep going, and these guys said, "Sit down, you're bleeding." Like, and then I sat back down and I listened to them. But
Right. I got hit by a car on the Bowery as well.
oh yeah,
Yeah. It was probably 2005. Um, I had stayed up all night doing a bunch of nefarious activities in the city, and I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't eating much, and that evening when I was going to walk to the bar to drink, um, I was this when I was living at that place on Kenmare, and I went to the I went to Spring Mart and I got a bagel toasted with butter because I hadn't been eating. And I thought, all right, no drugs tonight, just whiskey, keep it mellow. So okay. And so I got the bagel to go, it's wrapped up in the tinfoil, and I'm walking up Spring toward Bowery. And it's probably like 8 p.m. And I think it's around this time of year, so it wasn't that cold. And when you're crossing the street, I'm crossing Bowery, and you start veering to the left to go up the curb. You don't just go, especially in New York, you don't just go straight across the crosswalk. And as I was veering to the left, all of a sudden my legs came up from under me, and it was kind of smooth. Like it wasn't like a jolt. Like it was a jolt, but it was almost like I was lifted up by like the hand of God. And then I hit my head on, which I figured out in the moment of it happening, like, oh, this is a car. When I hit my head on the windshield, then the car skidded, and I shot forward, and I perfectly landed on my feet and turned around, and it was a little Puerto Rican lady in a lowered Honda red Prelude with rims and everything. And I say Puerto Rican because she had a CD hanging from the mirror with a Puerto Rican flag on it. And she was like this, like,
uh,
I'm so sorry. And I said, no, 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 sin Dios míos. My fault, my fault. And she was such a sweet lady. And she rolled her window down, and she's saying sorry. I was like, no, 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 Dios míos, it's my fault. And so she left, and it was just funny. And these two white chicks came up, whatever, they were white chicks. They came up and they're like, oh my God, you need to get, did you get our license plate? Oh my God, you need to sit down. Are you hurt? Oh my God, we saw it all. We saw it all. Did you get her plate? And I said, get the fuck away from me.
yeah.
Did you almost put Tim Jackson on blind?
I liked his skating. I wanted him to be in the video. I thought his skating was cool. Uh, it never happened. I'm not sure why it didn't happen, but yeah, I thought his skating was amazing. I like his style.
I thought he was so incredible when I think it was like Speed Freaks came out in 1990 probably. I'd never seen anybody do what he was doing.
Yeah,
What he was doing on walls and whatnot. It was absolutely incredible. That'd been insane to see him in that.
yeah.
That'd have been great.
Yeah, I see people doing like wall rides like 4 feet high.
What now?
Yes,
Uh,
it's crazy.
there's plenty of modern skateboarding that I do like, but I think that there's something missing in the thing of style. I think one person that is modern, um, I think Grant Taylor is kind of an amalgamation of a lot of people that he grew up watching. And Grant was born onto a skateboard, so he's a different example. And not taking anything away from modern skateboarders, but I suppose this is what is special about style. But like, there's never going to be another Brian Lottie. You don't see no one skates like that. Henry Sanchez,
Yeah,
like no one skates like that. And I think that, of course, it goes to like skateboarding was still so new when Henry Sanchez was doing what he was doing, and he was so far in advance that how he looked attempting to do these things that no one ever done, where Henry would go fast and attack shit, and he'd be hanging on,
yeah,
and that was the beauty in it, where you're like, oh, like he might not make it, but he does make it, and
yeah,
how sketchiness can actually be beautiful. And it
yeah.
shouldn't be described as sketchiness, but I feel like that's missing today. But who knows? I don't think I pay
Oh,
attention.
you're right. It's nothing is left to chance anymore.
But do you also think it's the fact that it's much like surfers that grew up in the 70s and the 80s, they you had to ride a single fin first, like a shitty board first. And
Well, the thing with the skateboarding is that like in the 70s when people skateboarded, the wheels were bigger, and they would skateboard, and uh they were going for a ride on the skateboard. And now it's like the skateboard is like they're overpowering the skateboard.
I
It's like no longer you're not going for a ride on the skateboard. You're skating this. You're like over controlling it. You know what I mean?
that's true, man.
There is no, there's, it's too, there's no chance anymore. There's no like, you know what I mean? It's like with the bigger wheels rolling, it's just like there's a chance that you're gonna like fall off, but you don't fall off. It's like, it's like all, it's over like too much. It's just too much control over like, you know what I mean? There's no element of chance, or it's just like they know the outcome. I mean, they don't make it, and they try a million times to do a trick, but when they do it, there's no like how you said, Henry Sanchez, where it's like, is he gonna make it? Is he not gonna make it? And then he makes it. It's nothing like that. It's just like, of course you made it. You just tried it a million times.
Right, right.
You overpower it. It's not like, I don't know.
I think a lot of it too comes down to people might think this is ridiculous, but fuck, I think a lot of it is pushing from place to place like we did. Like, I've heard you say that you would push from Southgate to Santa Monica.
Yeah.
And
Well, pushing is good. I mean, pushing. Well, plus when you push a long distance, you're like pushing to get there, which is it's physical. But once on your way to go someplace, you find other spots along the way, and it makes the trip like sometimes it'll take you super long to get somewhere because you're finding other spots along the way.
right.
And I don't know. I mean, in the city, it's awesome because there's I don't know. Yeah, I like long distance skating.
I really think too there's something about the development of one style even comes down to like pushing to the bus stop, getting on the bus with your board and holding your board. Remember when you were younger, like you couldn't hold your board like a kook. Like you had to, like it was your thing. Like that was your, it was like it was like your armor and your protection and all that. And I think the relationship with your skateboard, and also when we were younger, that board was your board. That
Yeah,
one was your
yeah,
for a while,
yeah.
for quite a while.
But things change, and they stay the same because young skaters today they take the bus, It's like
Of course.
uh or they take the subway and to get out. It trips me out when I see people pushing down the street super fast. I'm just like, wow, they got it. Like they're doing it.
Right, right, right.
And they might not be on like a modern skateboard, but just watching their control or like how they're going and like they're going through traffic and stuff. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. So uh yeah, in a way things change, but in other ways they're still the same. It's like, in the 80s or uh yeah.
When I was a child, when I was maybe 9 or 10, the first time I saw you, I was in, I think, the Ralphs on Warner with my mother, and you might have been like 17 or 18. And at the time, for me, when I saw you, it was the most incredible thing of being new to skateboarding, and I was already hanging out with Ed Templeton, and his name wasn't even Templeton then. He still had his dad's name, Ed Herring. But um, those older guys put me onto you, and then I started looking at magazines, and then you quickly became the beacon for what I regarded as great skateboarding. Of course, I had pictures of Hosoi on my wall too, but um, just the photo of you and Nodis doing the wall ride together, and just so many epic photos. The photo of you at Jimmy Arriga's ramp doing the frontside air, but using the mannequin hand to grab was just brilliant, and I thought so creative and great. So I hate the word favorite, but you've always been my favorite skateboarder. And I think we can have favorite skateboarders because of the years and just the emotions that someone else doing something skateboarding and how it affects you and your own personal skateboarding. But you did a this is way before anyone did any shit like this. You did a slappy 50-50 up to slappy 50-50. I think it was in Paris on the
Yeah,
round bar in a round bar.
yeah.
Did Fred film that? Did a really young Fred Mortain film that?
I don't remember, but I remember seeing the spot and thinking like, oh, I got to do that. And then I did it. I was like, I couldn't believe I did it.
But that footage looks like that. It doesn't look like you got away with it or it was easy, but it was so far ahead of its time. The way you do it, and I'll show the clip, but the way you do it looks like it caught some sort of magic, like, holy shit, you weren't supposed to be able to do that. So is
Yeah,
that the kickflip at the bank, the money bank on Beach Boulevard between the bars? I think that was then kicked out of everywhere.
yeah, that was hard too. That took a lot of tries.
Fucking insane. No one has ever done anything like that to this day. That was so. I've gone to that bank. I used to skate all over. I used, living behind the beach, you cover all of Beach Boulevard. I knew every inch of that place. And when I saw that, it was just, I still can't believe you did that. And so I wanted to just these three clips I wanted to show. And then the nose slide, tail slide that you did on the two barriers next to each other in that 4-star promo
Yeah.
was, that's so gnarly. You could have got so fucked up. It was so rad.
That one was corny, I think.
No way. See, that's
Yeah.
the thing. I love that. You think it was corny, but it's something, it's like, you can't pinpoint much of anyone in this world who's
Yeah.
war skateboarding more than
Yeah.
I've seen every fucking interview. I've seen every video you put out on YouTube. by the way, I think the way that you do the YouTube is so epic because there's so much corny YouTube of like, and who cares what people are doing, but there's so much people like doing the YouTube with their face in the thing as a thumbnail and like, hey, watch me eat 100 tacos and fucking, it just your YouTube is so it's almost. I know you do it from knowing you. I know that you do YouTube based on this is what I want to do, and this is just it's almost like you're not doing it for anyone but yourself, which I think is so great. And there's only one clip I've really ever seen of you painting, and it's from quite a long time ago. And not that you would want to do this, but I find so much enjoyment in watching that one clip of you painting. You're painting this one painting on the ground. You're laying down painting it. And it's just interesting that that's the only clip of you painting. But again, your YouTube is almost an anti audience. It's just like it's so. But then you pulled in Stephen Westerbrook and all your stuff. But going back to it, what you said about the no side tail side, for someone who's enjoyed your skateboarding and watched it more than most any other person, I would say, it's funny how that one trick sticks out in my head, and you're like, oh, that one's kind of corny.
No, but I mean, I mean, everybody likes what they like, you know.
Of course, no, and I love that. That's an interesting.
It was just a coincidence that the two things were lined up, and it was perfect. It just kind of happened.
Well, Mark, again, I appreciate your time, and we'll wrap it up with this. You got a show coming up in Tokyo with our friend Izumi at her gallery, and that's May 8th, right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. How do you feel about you've shown me a bit of the, is it all right if I show a couple of pictures from what you've shown me so far?
Yeah, sure. I made a post with my pictures though. YouTube took it down. The content wasn't acceptable. I mean, there's people peeing and pooping, so they weren't into it. So I took it down.
It's like I'm glad that there's this with all the trouble going on in the world, and there's a whole group of big corporations making sure we don't have any profanity of any sort.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I mean, it's whatever. So they took it down.
Hey, if they're taking it down, you're doing a good job. If the cops show up, you're really doing a good job.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited about the art show. I'm working on it and painting. Hopefully it goes well.
I like what you've sent so far. I always appreciate it. And I always, for the audience, this is you and me talking, you know this already, but Mark will send me a clip of him skating in the middle of the daytime. And I'm just always so blown away and dumbfounded of your ability and how you keep doing it. And it's really incredible. And I love thinking about the trajectory of you and knowing you for so long and knowing you in bad times, as you've known me in bad times, and known each other in good and bad times. But it's been so great to watch someone I've looked up to for so long and who's inspired. I hate the word inspired, but truly just done things in different avenues, which has totally affected so many things in my career and doing art and whatever. But I love to see your success, and I appreciate
that.
I'm so glad for you. It's like,
thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how times change. I mean, it seems like just yesterday we were messing around in the streets in New York City. Time goes by so quick.
Wait, you can do that?
Hey, you look fantastic. Have a
Thank
good
you.
show.
Okay.
And I'll see you soon, Mark. Thanks.
All right, thank you.